Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is your time zone across the world, it is Motivational Wisdom time. Today, I'm going to educate you so you can grow and lead, a fundamental principle I use in my management consultant services. We're going to start off with a scripture as I always do, taken from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, God is well pleased. Today, we're going to examine the word communicate and how it relates to the practical and biblical principles for spiritual growth. In essence, communicate is the abilities humans have to transmit information. Communicate is to share in common, participate in, impart, bestow, convey, to make known, to communicate information to anyone, a system of communication using the whole body, verbal contact, body motions, transfer to another, administer, breathe, broadcast, conversations, suggest, diffuse, intelligence, take counsel with, advise, and to join or connect. In the business world, it is called effective communication, a key leadership, employee, and development goal to communicate clearly, accurately, and concisely with all people. To communicate is a direct connection between effective communication and the ability to adjust to culture differences in dealing with people to effectively meet the needs and building relationships and partnerships. However, there is positive communication and negative communication. Both are known by the messages and actions conveyed, resulting in honor or dishonor. In the context of the scripture, the apostle wrote to instruct humanity the necessity of communicating with people to bring honor to God and oneself, not neglecting the foundational principle of love. I just want to pause for a moment. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, and then he created man. He created Adam. God looked at Adam and had compassion on Adam, and then he created Eve. He did not only create Eve to communicate with Adam in sexual relationships, but he saw the need of Adam to have a mate, to communicate to his emotional being and his soul. So, people are so important in the communication process that love cannot really be displayed without connecting to a human. Think about that for a moment. So, when the apostle gave instructions on communicating, he was thinking beyond just the good deeds. So, for instance, personally, I call this, watch what you say and do. It is the ability to value relationships, practice and discipline oneself from destructive actions, convey the right message through appropriate speech, body language, written, and listen before reacting. It is an in-depth ability to know communication deals with the totality of a person, whether good or bad. Thought to ponder. To communicate is beyond mere words or deeds. It is the ability to effectively meet the need of the soul and body, impacting with life, thus transforming the 3 E's channel: encouragement, empowerment, and endowment. At this level, it denounces self-gratification, platforms of fame, platforms of control for the greater of humanity. What lessons can be learned about communicate and effective communication? There are 5 important lessons. Discovering the truth in listen, speak, gestures, written, and how. Lessons learned about communicate and effective communication. To listen is the ability to hear what is being said, discern the importance of what is being said, and evaluate an appropriate response if needed. The listen approach at times is just silence to discern. It is the first step in communicating effectively and a sacrifice. How will I discipline myself to listen before responding? How will I guard my ears and train my mind to think before responding? How will I evaluate the way I communicate? What available resources will I use to be an effective listener? Leadership, self-management, discipline, and humility. 2. Speak is to communicate verbally. The verbal communication is the ability to first listen to what is being said before responding. It is the second step in communicating effectively and most crucial that can utterly destroy or make a person. It takes an in-depth ability to discipline the tongue under subjection of godly conversations. How will I choose my words carefully? How will I guard my tongue from speaking death? How will I practice humility in communicating to people? What results from my speech is evident. Leadership, self-management, discipline, and humility. 3. Gestures is actions and expressions of the body. To gesture is a non-verbal form of language, but extremely effective or ineffective in unveiling a person. It is the third step in communicating effectively, often used as forms of control, compassion, persuasion, authoritative, marketing, and humility. Gestures deals with the total body from facial expressions to expressions with postures of the body, hands, legs, and feet. It takes true discipline, humility, and sacrifice to convey the right message without saying a word. You have to watch what body language is used because it can be discerned. How will I appropriately communicate with my body? What message do other people have from my body language? How will I guard my eyes from inappropriate body language content? How will I respond? How will I use available resources to present myself appropriately to make a positive impact? Leadership, self-management, discipline, and humility. 4. Written is a form of communicating in writing. The written communication is characterized by a spoken message or spoken language transferred in writing. It is the last step in communicating effectively, however, equally as important as verbal communication to convey the right or wrong message. Written communication is often used as persuasion, encouragement, instruction, and falsification to either enlighten or deter the thoughts of people. How will I communicate the right written message? How will I train my mind, eyes, and hands to engage in appropriate written content? What available resources and tools will I use to develop positive written communication? How is my writing affecting people? Is it negative or positive? Is my written communication honorable or dishonorable in the sight of God and man? Leadership, self-management, discipline, and humility. 5. Truth is always revealed in a person's ability to effectively communicate, revealing the true character of a person's heart of honesty, dishonesty, or control. To communicate will always outweigh good deeds because it is the behavior revealing a person's soul. How will I submit in humility from negative communication? How will I surrender my will to God's will? How and when will I take a self-examination to change and transform for the greater? Courage, leadership, and behavioral management. In closing, know to effectively communicate is a sacrificial virtue of true love and specifically deals with a person's behavior. Know a person's soul is revealed through their communication tactics. Know to listen is to hear is the first step in communication. Know what you speak will either bring life or death. Choose your words wisely. Know the body language is important in communicating the right or wrong message. Know written communication is as equally powerful as verbal communication. Know to communicate is a culture of life or death. Know you will need courage to change and transform for the greater and preserving human sustainability. Remember, an environment of life is a progressive climate and culture of growth. Change your environment if needed. Change your view if needed. Change your courage if needed. Change your way of communicating if needed. Speak life, grow, and lead. You have value, you have worth. Live with purpose to change your life. What message do you convey? This is Lady Cynthia R. Kelly signing off with Motivational Wisdom. Be blessed and stay connected to Jesus and tune in next week.